Jai Hind students. Now today in the continuation with the same topic gravitation, we are going to understand some of the topics which will help you to solve numerical problems based on gravitation. Not only how to solve the numericals, also to find out, analyze the relationship of gravitational force on its factor. And the last topic which we are going to touch is that we all know the SI unit of the force, but other than SI unit, one more way in which we can measure the force, and that system is called gravitational unit. So what are the objective of today's class? Objective 1, first analyze the relation of gravitational force with its factor. Second, to find out some numericals, how to solve numericals by using this gravitational formula. And the third one is to know other units of measurement of gravitational force also. Okay, so we are going to start with this first topic. So our first topic is analysis of formula. Now till now, from the knowledge of gravitational force, universal law of gravitational, we have come to know about the gravitational force formula, that gravitational force is always equal to capital G, that is universal gravitational constant, having value of 6.67 into 10 power minus 11 Newton meter square per kilogram square. So this is the value of this. M1 is the mass of the one object, because it's always a gravitational force is always found between two objects. So mass 1 is the M1 is the mass of the very first object, and M2 is the mass of the another object, and distance d is the distance between the two objects from center to center. Since it follows gravitational law follows inverse square law, so that's why square is there in the denominator of d. So d square means it is showing that distance is inversely proportional but with the square value. So after getting this formula, now we are going to analyze this formula. Analysis means we are actually learning in a smarter way how to compare the value of gravitational force in different situations. Like suppose in two different situations, only the masses of the object has been changed, not the distance. Suppose two objects are there, M1 and M2, and they are at a distance of d. Now in place of M1 and M2, suppose mass of M3 and mass of M4. Two objects are there and their distance is still d only, but the masses have been changed. And now suppose we have to compare force in first situation and force in second situation. So by using analysis of formula, we can do the comparison of the gravitational force in these two different situations where only the masses have been changed in a smarter way. So how can we do so? That we are going to understand. Now the first relation is that F is directly proportional to product of masses, suppose M into M, that when d is constant. So on the basis of this relation, g is already constant, d we have taken constant. So major factor for gravitational force is product of masses. So suppose mass M, capital M and small m taken two masses. Now if we make a smarter formula for comparison, we can make a comparison F1 by F2. That means the force in the first situation to the gravitational force in the second situation. We can do it in a smarter way, M1 into M2 upon M3 into M4. How come? Because force is directly proportional to product of masses. So since it is directly proportional, so for force 1, gravitational force 1, we can take the product of the in that situation in front of it, because they are directly proportional, and F2 in the second situation gravitational force, their mass can be taken in front of that, because that is also directly proportional. So to show this in a smarter way, we have just only to compare the masses. No worries about D, no worries about capital G, because they are already constant. So suppose one question is there, that in one situation two objects are there. Now in another situation, the two objects are again there, but suppose we are taking this as a triple and this as a double, we can take so whatever is there. So what is the relation between these two? That this one is triple of that and this one is double of that. So M4 is double, so we can write M3 is equal to 3M1 and M4 is equal to 2M2. Okay, now we have to compare the value of force in these two situations. So we can do it very easily according to this relation. Now I am taking this as my formula, so I can write F1 by F2 is equal to M1 will remain M1, M2 will remain M2. The original situation we take as it is. Now on behalf of M3, can we take 3M1? Because it has been increased by, or the new object has a mass more 3 times of this previous mass. And similarly for M4, we can take 2M2 because it has been doubled. Now M1 will get cancelled with M1, M2 will get cancelled with M2, and finally we are getting 1/6 ratio. So finally what can be the comparison? That 6F1 is equal to F2. So this shows that the new force means new situation, the strength has become 6 times the gravitational force which is present in the first situation. So in this way we can compare that whatever factor has been changed in the mass, accordingly what will be the change in the value of gravitational force, but take care that here we are taking distance constant. So by using this formula you can utilize that. Okay, now going to the second factor, so this you take note down of that. Now the next factor which we have to consider is the distance. Now see, with distance what kind of relation it follows? Inversely, and with square. So if I take that, but in this situation masses will remain constant. So suppose now masses are still M1 and M2, but now suppose the distance has got double, distance has become double. Now here masses are constant. So now in this situation when we have to compare the strength of gravitational force, then what will be the comparison? That is the next topic. Now on the basis of distance, where F is inversely proportional to D square, when product of masses are constant, take care of that, product of masses is taken constant. Now from this we can compare F1 by F2 is equal to D2 square by D1 square. Now where D1 is the situation, suppose this is a D1, okay, and this is D2. So we can write now that D2 is equal to suppose 2D1. So now D2 is the distance between two objects of same masses in the second situation, and D1 is the first. And what is the relation we have taken? That D2 is suppose double of this. So we can write D2 is equal to 2D1. Now in this situation the gravitational force is inversely proportional. So how do we write inversely in a smarter way? F1 gravitational force will depend inversely with D1. So that's why it has been written in the opposite manner, that F1 is in numerator, then D1 is taken in denominator. This is the way in which we can express inverse relation. And y square has been taken, that you already know. And for F2, that is for this F2, the distance will be taken again inversely. Now since F2 is in the denominator, so D2 will be in the numerator. And square is again, square law is always followed. If we take the same smart formula, F1 by F2, now F1 by F2 on d2 by d1 whole square is there, because according to mathematics. Now for d2 I can write 2d1 and d1 will remain d1, original situation, to the square. So d1 will get cancelled by that. So what will get? 4 by 1. So now when we cross multiply with f1, this to this, f1 will remain f1 and this will become 4f2. Now what does this show? That now the new force which is now here present here is now when we take 4 times the new force, that is equivalent to original force. So this way we can also say that F1 by 4 is equal to F2. That means the new force is 4 times weaker, lesser, because it is showing the fraction. So this shows that the new force is 4 times weaker, lesser than the original force. Now why is it coming so? When we are increasing the distance by double, why it is affecting by 4 and it is decreasing? Because it's a square relation. And why it is decreasing? Because it's an inverse square relation. So whenever you increase the distance between two objects, the gravitational force will become weaker. And how much weaker? Depending on the square value of the distance. If you get tripled, the value will become 9 times weaker, because it follows the inverse square law. Now if you see question number 1 and 6 of NCERT of gravitation chapter, you will see that these both type of questions are actually based on this relation. So it's my request to go through these questions and try to solve the questions on the basis of the given discussion. So this is the analysis of formula and a few questions based on that I have discussed with you. Okay. Now we are going to solve a very interesting numerical, and that numerical will give you an idea how to do the first calculation of gravitational force between two objects. First thing. One more thing you will come to know about. I will discuss this about in the further, okay, later on. So right now I am going to make one question, take one numerical and just try to find out how much gravitational force is found between these in this given situation. Now the question is, suppose on earth this is earth, our earth. Now on earth's surface, suppose one object has been kept of mass 1 kilogram. Okay, my question is, by how much force earth is attracting this object, or you can say by how much force this object is attracting earth. As we know, the action is always equal to reaction, so we can understand that also. But again I am reframing the question, that what we have to do, we have to calculate the gravitational force between these two objects. One object of mass 1 kilogram on the earth surface and another is earth surface. Here object mass is known 1 kilogram equal to capital G value 6.7 into 10 power minus 11 into mass of the first object is 1, mass of the another object is of earth, that is 6 into 10 power 24 kilogram, upon the distance between them. Suppose we have taken 6.4 into 10 power 6. This is the radius of the earth, the average radius which we take. Otherwise, as we know, on earth, on different places the radius will be different. Like on peak of the Mount Everest, it will be different. In the Mariana Trench, it will be different. But right now we are taking an average radius, that is 6.4 into 10 power 6 and square of that. Now when we take calculation, 6.7 into 6 I have taken together, and then 10 power we have taken 10 power minus 11 plus 24 according to mathematical knowledge, and here in the denominator it will be 6.4 square into 10 power 6 square, because square will get distributed on both the numbers. So finally we are going to get 6.7 into 6 upon 6.4 into 6.4 into 10 to power minus 11 plus 20. So now when we calculate this all stuff, we are going to get approximately value of 9.8 Newton. So here the gravitational force value is 9.8 Newton. So this is the force which is existing between two objects. One is earth and one is of mass 1 kilogram. So by this force earth is attracting this 1 kilogram object towards its center. After getting this calculation, we are going to understand the new way of measuring gravitational force. That means there are two gravitational units which we use for measuring gravitational force. Now for force, everybody knows that the SI unit for any force is always Newton. So that is fine, that is SI unit. So we can take that. But here we are interested to know something new unit, and that we call gravitational unit for gravitational force. Now how do we take gravitational unit? Because every unit has to be defined. So how do we define gravitational force? Like kilogram force, or somewhere it can be written kilogram weight also. Now what does it mean by kilogram force? So kilogram force is the force by which earth attracts any object towards its center of mass 1 kilogram, any object, but mass should be 1 kilogram. It can be 1 kilogram stone, it can be 1 kilogram potato, it can be 1 kilogram anything. And the force by which the earth is attracting that stone or potatoes towards its center is termed as 1 kilogram force. Now in this calculation, what have we calculated? We have calculated the force by which earth attracts any object of mass 1 kilogram towards its center, and this only is called 1 kilogram force, which is equivalent to how much Newton? 9.8 Newton. So this force by which earth attracts any object of mass 1 kilogram towards its center is taken as one unit, and that unit is called kilogram force, which is equivalent to how much Newton? 9.8 Newton. And that's why to get value of 1 Newton, what do we do? If 1 kilogram force is equivalent to 9.8 Newton, that means around 1000 gram of object. 1 kilogram contains 1 kilogram of mass. So to get 1 Newton, how much mass we should hold on our hand? That is near about, actually it should be 98 gram, but we cannot get 98 grams. So approximately when you place 100 gram mass object on your hand, actually you are experiencing 1 Newton force. But to get 1 kilogram force, how much you have to keep on your hand? 1 kilogram object. So that means whenever you hold anything of object of mass 1 kilogram on the earth's surface, that means you are experiencing 1 kilogram force, which is a unit also for measuring gravitational force. So kilogram force means the force by which earth attracts any object of mass 1 kilogram towards center. Then what will be the definition of gram force? So by name itself it is clear, the force by which earth attracts any object of mass 1 gram near earth's surface, that is taken as 1 gram force. So these two gravitational unit also used in our study. So you have to go through it. SI unit is always Newton for any kind of force, but for measuring gravitational force we use kilogram force or gram force also, depending on what kind of mass you are taking. For kilogram force we need 1 kilogram mass object, for 1 gram force we need 1 gram mass object, and in both the situation it shows the pulling power of the earth towards its center. So this is the gravitational unit for measuring gravitational force. Thank you for today's class.